To the end of my days. That's the end of my days. Like I'm never going to be known for anything else.
It's not an adventure till things start to go wrong.
I made a lot of mistakes in Sand Hollow.
Like the trips that you get stuck or you roll or you break something, those are the trips you remember for the rest of your life. All those other trips, you never remember them, but you'll never forget getting stuck in the sand. So that's the fun part.
We all smelled bad, so nobody smelled.
Brantley threw us under the bus.
None of us know what we're doing. You're fine.
I'm Kristy Beyer with the Drummond Island Tourism Association, and you're listening to the Trailhead Podcast.
Wave it up, let it roar, feel the ground shake. Pedal down, dust flying, no time to waste. The trailhead's calling, and you power on a roll. This is where trails start and stories unfold. Under starlit skies, where the wild things roam. Every trail a journey, every Jeep a home. Meet at the trailhead, where the wild ones run. The dust kicks high and the day's not done. With the road wide open and the dirt in our soul. This is where trails start and our stories unfold.
Well, welcome back to the Trailhead, everybody. We are live, and it's been a hot. I don't know if it's been a hot minute. Like I feel like we're getting back into the rhythm of things. So we're getting into kind of what our new live show format's going to be. And like I was telling you guys, we're getting on the air. I'm kind of hoping that we might have enough folks that want to kind of come back on a regular basis that we might go back to weekly, because I really feel like there's an appetite for it, because there's a lot that goes on from week to week, especially in the summer. I know we're all busy, but I'm the only one that's not doing stuff on the weekends. So you guys can come on in whenever you're available. All right. And we have an absolutely full panel. I don't think we've ever had an 8-pack on the show. And I can handle, well, we just lost one too. That's okay. Mike, we lost your wife. I'm sorry. She's gone. I don't know what to tell you.
She'll come back.
She always does, right?
Hey, the concern level, I like it. Yeah,
She'll come back. I happen to know exactly where she is.
Oh, okay. That's fair. That's fair. You are in the same house. It should be nice here. Be true. All right. Well, before we get into all the folks that we got here tonight, I want to go through a little bit of I was going to say baggage. Business. I don't have any baggage. But I want to get it out of the way, because it's been brought up. Yeah, I got stuck in Sand Hollow. I don't know what else to tell you. I had a trailer.
There it is.
I didn't air down enough. I made a lot of mistakes in Sand Hollow. And
was that at
I'm
the
going to hear
beach?
about it until the end of days. What?
Was that at the beach? That looked
No,
like it was
didn't
at
have
the
to be.
beach.
The sand was.
Hey, Steve,
Steve,
he missed that. You have to do that again.
No.
No, Steve just showed everyone.
You should let Steve share his screen.
Yeah, I can show you guys again. Here's just a still shot.
Why, Steve? Oh, that's the still shot. Yeah. I'm airing down when I shouldn't be at that moment. Yes. I do. Here's the thing. I do have the video. I have the video myself. I think the problem for me is that the problem for me with sharing it, again, is the nature of the recovery, which is, I aired down, but at that point we already had recovery straps snatched up. So they just yanked me out, but a Bronco yanked me out. So that's not a good look for Jeep. And Jeep's had a rough couple years. They don't need me to add to the pile. Like I don't need to do that. So
At least there's
it
two
happened.
people driving the
It's going to
Bronco.
come up again. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, let's not do that. Why? We're having such a good time. We're a couple minutes in. We're all set.
I mean, honestly, seeing the Bronco, it's a pretty built Bronco already.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'd buy one. If I had the cash, I'd go out and buy one right now. 100%. Back in the day, and we're getting off topic immediately, which is awesome. back in the day, Jeep was always considered that out of the box kind of an off-roader. And I think Bronco and Ford kind of looked at it like, Jeep has been kind of suffering lately and we have an opportunity to pounce, and damn, they pounced. They pounced and they pounced good.
So I have a real Bronco. It has a straight axle in the front end and a big block.
Okay.
And it was made in 79.
Yeah.
It's a real Bronco.
How much of it is metal and how much of it is rust?
It's an Arizona Bronco, so it's all metal.
Oh, nice. Okay. I'll give that to you then. Okay. Good deal. Listen, I'm sorry. I am from where Kristy's from, and that means that every vehicle I have ever owned has been just a pile of rust, including the TJ that I used to have out here. So, yeah. All right. Loren, I know we lost your video. I'm guessing you're trying to get whatever you got going on over there, but if you're trying to get yourself unmuted, I had muted you. All right. And
JD, will you unmute Amy?
I can.
Please.
Did you say no? As in don't unmute me?
Can get it. I did it
Okay.
myself. I thought you wanted me to mute. Sorry.
Oh, no. Oh, no. It was Loren had the dog. So I just wanted to make sure that, because I can fix that later, but it's definitely not going to keep anybody on Instagram around. Yeah. All right. All right. So let's see here. So we're switching to kind of these roundtable live shows. I'm going to invite some more people on to kind of do these and just kind of go through what everybody's got going on, get updates from folks who've been on the show before, and get back to talking about some news, because I feel like we drifted away from that. And there's always stuff going on in the off-road community at a news level, at a reporting level, like hey, this is going on, and you may or may not have heard about it kind of level. And I think those are all good things to talk about on a regular basis. So on a show business side, no new Apple reviews. I did check today. I didn't see anything new, so we're still hanging tight at 21. If we get 9 more reviews, I will give away the swag pack of crap that I've got. I got a gang panel switch, excuse me. I got a bunch of t-shirts. I got some stuff. I think I now have some recovery gear as well that is included in that. It's now shaping up to be a pretty decent box of stuff. So tell your friends and have them. I don't care. Stuff the ballot box, but once you've done it, once you've left the review, shoot me an email at jd@thetrailheadnetwork.com. Give me a screenshot of the review so that I can see it, and then your address and stuff, and I'll add you to the list. And as soon as we get to 30, I'll give it away, and then we'll get the next one going. I really want to get rid of this stuff. It's been in my closet for a while. I know somebody out there needs a switch panel, and as I previously stated, Nathan is now completely ineligible. He cannot win it. He was one of our first, but he has enough gear. But let's see here. So yeah, other than that, just leave us a voicemail message. The other thing we will do when I have them is we will play all of our voicemail messages on these shows. I have previously stated, and if you listen to our last episode, I will play any message that I get. And it was a doozy, y'all. It was a doozy. Those of you who were at Trail Hero X know Brian and Jeff from Chicago. And they gave that number to a friend, and she called in and she left a message. And oh boy, did she leave a message. So I'm not even going to go into any detail about it. If you want to know what that message was, you're going to have to go back and listen to the last episode. Because it's unhinged. It's unhinged, guys. There's some of the people in the audience, I would be like, Loren, I don't want you to know about this one. This is the kind of voicemail I don't need you to know exists. No, you're a respected member of the off-road community. Even Justin, you probably float the line, but I'll still take it. Oh boy!
Definitely
All
walking
right.
the line.
I figured that's why I said it. I knew, but I was a little bit. I give you a little bit more cred. Like some of these folks I spent time with in the desert. I know better now.
Hey,
right,
there was
cool.
alcohol involved.
So yeah, there only at camp, as far as I know. But yes, there was alcohol involved, especially in Sand Hollow. Maybe that's why. That's why I got stuck in the sand. I was still hungover from the mojitos the night before. That's my excuse.
Keep telling yourself
that's
that.
my story, and I'm sticking to it. Oh God,
Fair.
All right, now I'm not invited. No, okay, we're not going back to weekly live shows. I don't want to invite people back.
You guys are mean.
Oh boy, you are mean. I don't want to play with you at Pacific Playland. All right. Well, let's get into it. I want to find out who we got and what we got going on, and then we'll take a break and we'll come back, and then we'll just kind of talk a little bit about newsy kind of stuff that's going on and go from there. I'm going to go down my list of people as I have it, not necessarily the list as you may see them on your screen. But in my screen anyway, on an Instagram in the bottom left-hand corner, we have got Kristy Beyer from Drummond Island, and Ozzy. I'm sorry, Ozzy. I missed your last name. I heard it.
Portis.
Portis. All right, Ozzy Portis. How you doing, man?
Good.
Good. And Kristy, you are what for Drummond Island?
I do the marketing and help out with the off-road club for the Drummond Island off-road clubs.
And I realized as I asked that, I told all of you when you came on the show, like, you don't have to come on here as like a representative of who you're from. So you don't have to, from here on out, if you don't want to tell me who you are, who you're working for, if you're just here to drink and have a good time, you can't. But Kristy, you're on the job.
Oh,
now.
good.
Sorry.
You said I didn't have to work anymore.
All right.
No, I just
Ozzy,
love talking about Drummond Island anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, very cool. I actually have a question for you. I want to ask. So now I saw that the other Marblehead is off the Badge of Honor list, right? But
That's
they
correct.
put a different one on the Badge of Honor list, which I would have argued in the first place would have been the better Badge of Honor trail in the first place.
You know, as far as a ride goes, I agree. It is a much better trail. We ended up putting the Hellfresh Walker Trail. It's two different segments of the trail. They represent actually three people that were instrumental in getting off-roading going on Drummond Island, and that was Steve Walker, Mike Olmsted, and Hellfresh. Pat Hellfresh. Those were the three.
That's all good. We'll see. We'll be here. Don't worry. Trust me. There's a lot of us. Awesome. All right. I could boot you, but that's not very nice. I'll boot you. This is all for the love of the game. All right.
There they went.
Yep, I got it. All right, cool. Let's see here. We did not get Erica, so Erica's not here tonight. Loren, how you doing, sir? Loren Campbell.
I'm doing great. I live in Virgin,
Are you just
Utah.
a regular off-road citizen today?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Actually, I don't get to off-road that much lately. I've been so busy with land action stuff. It's I'm not getting out much.
It's been a busy 6 months.
It's been a little tough.
Yeah. We'll have to give you back on the show to go over all the stuff that's changed.
But I'm only about 15.
Ben.
I'm only about 15 miles from Sand Hollow, so I know the sand.
Yeah, but you need to
there.
like go out there and do it. Yeah,
I know the sand very
and
well there.
I've heard about it. I've heard about it. Like you get told what you're supposed to do with it. And why do I feel like our live video ended here too? Just having a cluster of a day. All right. So you and we're going to talk about some of that stuff in the news piece of things. Are you just not getting out much at all right now, or is it all just work and business stuff?
A lot of it's work right now. I mean, with the administration changing, it's there's a lot of work, and we feel that this is a year that we've really got to make some hay to get some changes made. So we're working like gangbusters trying to get some things done.
Okay.
So,
very nice. All right.
Occasionally, but not. I'm retired. You know, I should be out wheeling 3 or 4 days a week, and I'm not.
Yeah, I get that a lot from people. Like especially folks that we talk to on this show. That people and they start off-roading to recreate, and the next thing you know, they're doing stuff like either being a land manager on working with land management stuff, or doing like Mike's got the off-road groups and stuff. It just takes up so much time, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm not retired anymore. Yeah, I'm barely. Yeah,
we're the guys that are organizing events. That takes up an enormous amount of time.
And then we're all there walking around at those events, trying to promote our whatever we got going on. And so then you only get part of the event. And yeah, I'm jealous of Justin because he got to spend a lot of time. He got to spend more time this season at doing the thing, if you will. All right. All right. Well, while I'm fixing Instagram here, let's see who else we got. We did not get Brantley.
Nope.
Instead, we got Mike Malone.
Yeah, Mike
and we got wow, Amy. Just the shade though. Like I feel like there's a lot of shade here. Is everything okay?
Yeah, everything's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Brantley threw us under the bus.
Now you tell me if it was true or not. Did he actually have a business thing change, or did he?
He did.
You know, nobody's seen any plane tickets, so I don't know. But
Oh, I see. All right, she's been called out, man. Just so you know, you've been called out. That's great. Okay, alrighty. And Amy, I know from my interview with Mike and Brantley that you essentially are like the social media person, right? For Midwest Krawlers?
I mean, okay.
Okay.
I'm supposed to be the technology director. Basically, I just kind of do my best to keep us going along.
Afloat.
So I have a secret for you. Amy. And I will tell the story again. I'm going to tell the story at the end of time. I recently had this conversation with somebody else who he's a respected person within the off-road community. One might even say a leader within the off-road community. He does large events, if you will, without naming names. And after an incident where I had stopped moving forward because I had buried myself frame deep, I rolled up to said individual and said, and he looked at me, he's like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "What am I doing here?" And he's like, I'm like, "I don't know what I'm doing here." And he's like, "None of us know what we're doing here." And I get the hell out of here. He's like, clapped me out, and everybody clapped. We waved. So I'm really looking forward to that video. So none of us know what we're doing. You're fine. Everybody was gone. I was trying to get all of you gone before I tried to get out of there. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I was going to pull you out, but I was told I had better things to do.
Wow. Just did he throw you under? I can't tell you who he's throwing under the bus there.
It's me. I needed a shower. I needed to get back to that hotel.
Look, I am not. Yeah, I can't come between a person and a shower after that, 'cause none of us were pleasant at that point. Like everybody keeps saying that, oh, we were all good. Nobody smelled. I'm like, that's because we all smelled bad. Like I don't.
We all smelled bad, so nobody smelled.
That's right.
Nobody smelled because we all just were hoping it would go away soon. Oh boy. All right.
If you put your windows down and go fast enough, nobody smells.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's right. There's actually a lot of people's method, I think. Fantastic. Okay, well, Amy, welcome. It's nice to have you join us, even if it was a strong arm situation.
It was kind of, and here I am.
Okay, good deal. And Mike, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. And just for the record, Brantley strong-armed me into strong-arming Amy to do this.
Yeah.
Oh, so
the
now
pressure's coming from the top. Yeah.
Well, so here's the thing now, Brantley. Do you not think Mike could have handled this by himself, or? All right, I'm just sowing discord here, folks. I'm just
That's okay, JD. I have told Brantley more times this year than I'd care to count. Hey, if you're unhappy with what I'm doing, just say the word.
That's right.
Trying to get fired.
Oh, that's not going to work. It's not work. If anything, it's going to make him just dig his heels in deeper. I hate to tell you that.
And that's what he's done. He just. Hey, you can do this. You can do this. You can do this.
Yeah,
and
he knows.
And I'm like you. I spend so much time at events because I deal with the sponsors. I spend so much time at events talking to people. I do very little actual off-roading anymore.
Yeah. I really got to fix.
Yeah,
that
you did
year.
Last weekend.
I did, and I smacked a tree.
Oh.
Well, haven't we all?
You're out of practice.
I mean, seriously, how many of us have not smacked a tree when we've been off-roading?
You know what?
Raise hands.
Yep. All I did was back up, turn the wheels a little bit, and keep going. It was a oops.
Fair enough.
I was stupid.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
That's usually what happens with that. And Loren, you don't count. You don't have trees.
No, we don't.
That doesn't.
We don't.
You can't.
You know, if you go over the edge, you're
Are there
just
no
going to keep
trees?
going.
That's a one and done.
You know,
There's no fender bender.
It was actually a big surprise for me because I used to wheel in Big Bear and there were trees everywhere. So no matter how difficult the pitch was, you weren't going to go very far. And here, man,
Something would
you'll
stop
drop
you.
300 feet.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Wow,
So-
one of my favorite trails here has like a couple 1,000-foot just drop.
Yeah.
And like it's a 45-degree angle. So once you start rolling, you're just going to keep going.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right.
what
well,
trail
and
it-
that's a great.
What trail is that?
Which one? That's Saxon. That's Saxon Mountain. Well, actually, anything. There's a bunch of them in the San Juans. But here near Denver, there's Saxon Mountain and Argentine Pass. Those are the two that have some really good cliffs on them. And Red Cone.
Cool.
Red Cone
Oh,
is the
yeah.
famous
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. Yeah. I've
But
done that.
the thing about Red Cone is most of Red Cone sits in a very large, once you get up to above the tree line, it's a very large plateau on either side of you for most of the trail. It's just the summit and the last part that really, you know, makes you kind of hold your breath.
Yeah.
And the last part now is it's so dug out that as long as you just kind of stay in the middle, you're good. You can't, like, you might flop on your side if you're real stupid, but unless you're like, you know, go-karting it off there, you're not going to fall over and like kill yourself on that. But don't take advice from me. Take Red Cone seriously, folks. Just so you know, I'm not trying to tell you just to go up there and just have a good time. It won't matter. It's still a serious trail. It's just, it was built up to me in such a way. By the time I got up to it, I'm like, okay. Like, okay. I mean, the views and the drops that have always scared me are in Utah, because those are the straight down ones.
Yeah.
Those are the ones. There's no coming back from that. That's just a couple seconds of sheer terror and you're done.
Black Bear is that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And see, Black Bear doesn't scare me either, because I've seen pictures of it. I'm like, that's wide enough. Like it's all tire placement. You'll be fine. Just don't gun it. All right. And well, I heard Big Bear in there somewhere, and that's a good thing. That's a good transition to Justin. How you doing, man?
What's up? How you guys doing?
Good. Coming to us live from the garage there.
Yep, out in the shop. That's where my life is. So may as well
there you
talk
go.
here.
Yeah. Is there anybody there that can harass you, like, to do work right now?
No. We're shut down this Friday, man.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. I barely know what day of the week it is. I just like, oh yeah, look at this came up on my calendar today. We got to do this.
Yeah,
awesome,
no,
man.
Same here.
Have you been out wheeling, or are you just working?
Yeah, so I guess the wheeling season kind of just recently, last couple months, opened up here in California because everything has been snowed in. So now we're actually out in the mountains doing stuff. I've gotten out a couple times. I've been a little bit busier than I wanted to be, but yeah, we went out and we had a pretty rowdy guys trip a couple weekends ago up Rubicon. So that was pretty fun.
Nice.
Pretty fun.
Okay. That's a good time to get that in too, before it gets real busy for the season, because they start running big groups out there.
Yeah, I mean all the jamborees and all the events are getting ready to kick off here, so it was good to get that in and have some fun.
Very
Justin,
nice.
have you ever done?
All right.
Have you ever done Doozy Ursham? Have you ever done Doozy Ursham?
I haven't done Doozy yet. Nope, not yet. I actually need to do that one. Put that on my list this year. There was an event up there that I was going to try to do, but haven't got that in the books yet.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best. That's my favorite trails in the country. It's just you get up over 10,000 feet that first day,
Nice.
and you never drop below for the rest of the time. It's great.
Nice.
You guys that are good
Yeah,
with heights,
there's
just-
an event that's close by to it.
No, you're good.
There's an event close by to it, and they're trying to get me to do like a KrashFab run on Doozy. So we'll see if we can
Cool.
do it.
Cool.
Very nice. All right. Well, good deal. Let's see here. Who else we got? Let's see here. Steve, how you doing,
I'm
man?
doing great. It's good to be here.
Nice. How about you? All your vehicles functioning? You been out wheeling? What you doing?
Yeah, I've been out wheeling quite a bit. Haven't done much in the side by side, but we've been out in the Jeep quite a few times. And we went to Wallace, Idaho last weekend and did some 6 and 7 rated trails and had a really good time. Had some friends meet us there, and then we just explored a bunch of new dirt roads and did dirt all the way back to Kalispell, Montana from Idaho, and it was fun. We had a good time.
All right. Very nice. Okay. And let's see here. And yeah, I know I'm showing my admin page. It's okay. It doesn't have any passwords on it. It's a real weird way of me having to stream Instagram because, weird. But don't worry about it. We're good. There's nothing sensitive on there, I don't think. I hope not. If there is, I'll be canceled. And then I don't have to worry about editing the show anymore. Cool. All right. And then last, Steve and Katie, how you doing?
Yeah, Katie couldn't
That's
make it
who you just
tonight.
talked to.
She had something going on, so
I'm sorry. No, good Lord.
it's all good.
Did
Sorry.
you already forget my name?
He forgot our names.
No.
It's okay.
What's up, Calvin, Jennifer? No, I'm reading down my list because I've got two lists. I've got a text list on my left, and then I've got my pictures on the right, and nobody's name on anything. And then I saw Steve and Katie. I'm just like, well, Katie's not here, so just leave me alone. It's been a long week. For your guys' information, since the last live show went, pretty much 4 of 5 nights a week, I've been recording shows for the Trail Hero Expedition stuff, which is a lot of episodes that won't air until later this year. But it's all stuff that I wanted to get recorded because it's stuff that just happened, and we're all. I am a person of a certain age, and I have a terrible memory, and I know that when I come home from those types of things, I really need to get them out so that we get those stories out there. So it just was a lot, and I'm getting there. So just shut up. I can remove you too. And be less nice about it.
Well, you know.
I don't really care.
No,
All right,
we've been
welcome
doing
back,
good.
guys. Nice to have you.
Thanks.
Yes, thank you.
You know, possibly looking at new axles on the Jeep.
Weren't you looking at new axles the last time we talked?
That was
No.
just because he wanted them. Now it might be because he needs them.
Yeah, I have a CV joint leaking.
Oh, is this new damage, or do you think this is
We
damage
found it
from the trip?
yesterday.
We found it yesterday leaving the grocery store.
Okay. And have you been doing stupid things?
Me? No.
Not you. Well,
We
I
really
assume
haven't
that you
had
have
the
been doing
time.
stupid things. Yes. Okay.
No, so
Okay.
I don't know when it started leaking, but you know, the Mojave has the CVs in front instead of U joints.
Okay.
So one of the boots is covered in grease right now, and Mopar doesn't offer anything except for a full axle.
Ouch.
So yeah, there's this
And
really cool
what's
orange
the lead
brand.
time on that?
I don't know.
This really cool orange brand.
Yeah, you know, they're a lot stronger.
He did show me that.
I've heard different things about it, especially if you're going to be out in the sand a lot.
He did tell you those
We
axles
didn't have problems in the sand. They're only what, Steve?
No,
they're
I'm
only
sorry.
$100.
What'd you say, Steve?
No, they're like
My Jeep, I tell my wife.
there's a 1 and a 4 in there somewhere.
There's a 1 and a 4 in there somewhere. Yeah, Steve, you got to move the browser over. It's cutting off on your screen when you put that in your checkout cart. It's there's an extra couple zeros on the end of that.
I was gonna say $41 don't sound bad for an axle.
No, well, hell, I'll do that. Yeah.
You know,
All day long.
we've got the gears, we've got the trussing. Now we just need to add the axle to it.
Okay. All right. Well, as long as can you drive it right now? Can you wheel it?
Mm, we'll see after the show. I'm gonna go clean it off, see how bad the damage is.
Okay.
And it'll be the
Okay.
perfect
Well, I
temperature
appreciate
to do
you
that.
holding off. There it is. Well, see, because where are you guys at again?
Phoenix.
Phoenix area.
Yeah.
It's
Here.
only
You
104
guys are on the
outside.
surface of the sun.
Yes, we are. It's supposed to be 111 on Sunday.
No, it's like there's not enough of breeze in my office right now, and I'm not having a good time.
Hey,
I don't
we
like
have
that.
AC when we wheel, so we don't care.
I'm looking at these people in their garages
enough.
kind of jealous because we can't do that.
Oh, you know what? I have a panel of people, and many of you. Oh, this is a perfect place to ask this question. Do they make an upgraded fan for the exhaust on your air conditioning in a Jeep JK? So you know the fan that spins that just pumps out your vents, because either one of two things is happening right now. I'm guessing that fan is dying because it was squealing for a while, and then I threw some WD-40 on it because it was Trail Hero, and I needed it to stop squealing. But I'm guessing now that it's
He didn't want us
starting
to have something
actually
else to give
fail.
him crap about.
No, I didn't. And here's the thing, though, that squid that WD-40 helped for a while, but I knew it was going to come back and bite me. But again, we're back to the warranty that everybody gives me crap for, and I usually let this stuff die. But it's one of those things where if somebody offers like a fan that blows at like twice the speed that thing does, I would buy it in a heartbeat.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
JD,
that I know of.
JD, have you checked the cabin air filter? Have you checked the cabin air filter?
I have. You know, that's a valid question, Lauren, and I should. I have not. I should definitely do that. That's a good call
because
I
that'll
did
really
actually
cut
put
the
new
flow
air filters
down
back in it.
dramatically.
Well, and
Yeah.
and on the JK, that fan's easy to change.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's good to know. I just want to get one that's just like a.
The heater core is not, though.
Right. Yeah. Heater
I
core.
don't-
If it's a heater core, sell your Jeep.
That well, I don't think there's ever been a heater core that's been easy to change in a Jeep, is there? Has
What's
there
a
been
heater?
a heater core that's been easy to change? Yeah,
No.
there it is.
We don't need
Yeah.
heaters over here.
That's true. You need air conditioning, not heat.
I had a TJ that always I would spend $100 every year, and because I would always burn out the switch somewhere around the end of the season, and I to this day I don't know what the problem was. It's like I got rid of the Jeep before I finally fixed the issue, but it was an every year thing, man, every year. And I know I wasn't the only one, and I knew that because of the amount of people that were selling those switches on eBay for original price.
And getting it.
Yeah, and getting it. And like, oh, you're lucky. Oh, look, they're in stock. I got to grab one while I can. Yeah, it's
Well, definitely check your cabin filter. Mine was so plugged after Trail Hero X, I actually pulled it out and threw it away.
you know what? And I didn't even think about it because I just replaced them a few months ago. And then yeah, there was so much dust.
Well,
Okay,
Steve,
good
if
call,
you would
guys.
have
I will
backed off the
definitely-
Raptor just a little, you wouldn't have had that much dust.
Yeah, but wasn't it a race?
Wow.
It was not a
Wasn't
race.
it
I
a
was
race?
told multiple times.
No. Rich would be very adamant about the fact that this was not a race. It was not an amazing race. It was not a fantastical race. It was not anything. No.
Well, I did my best to keep up to that
Everything's a
Raptor.
race.
I
I
did
don't
everything my poor little Jeep could do. So,
The only day that was a race
Very
was
good.
a race to the shower.
boy, that was a good day.
Yes, it was.
I hate to tell you guys this, and because I don't know if I did or not on your particular episodes, but when I left the camp, it was a straight shot for me from Sand Hollow back to camp via what somebody who I will wait for their episode to air referred to as Trail 15.
We heard about
Which is
that
really just
trail.
Highway 15. Did you now? Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
And-
we heard about that trail.
Did number 2 take that trail?
Why? Wow, just bang, bang, bang. Like you're just shooting everybody down. Yeah, you got stuck in the sand, huh? Like okay. All right. Oh. This is what I get for inviting people, folks.
See what happened?
Come on, did you
Never,
not
ever,
learn
ever
how
invite
we
people
are?
you will with.
I did. I don't even now. I didn't necessarily know that I understood the full context of what that meant yet. So, there is that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Looks
but
like
with all
Fran
that
said
said,
she took that road too.
Yeah. Oh, there's a few people that took it. What'd you say, Justin?
that said though, like the trips that you get stuck or you roll or you break something, those are the trips you remember for the rest of your life. All
That's
those other
right.
trips, you never remember them, but you'll never forget getting stuck in the sand.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
We won't
And
either. We
I'm
won't
fine.
That's the fun part.
Nobody will let him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the thing. I am fine with me not forgetting. It's
Yeah.
the fact that these guys won't let me forget it.
But they were there too. They were part of the group. They're part of the adventure. So that's why they'll never forget it either. you
I
know?
mean,
Damn it,
it-
Justin. Look, I liked you.
I'm sorry.
If he was in my phone as a contact, that would be his picture.
Ah, you've got my number now. You may as well. I'm surprised it's not.
Dang.
Well, it's not an adventure till things start to go wrong. So
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. That's
I
right.
just all I need to know is how to. I just need to know how to like. I know there's probably a way. I just need to figure out how to get the Bronco out of the footage. So it just looks like I'm self-recovering and like I'm pulling off a pull pal or something. Yeah,
Hey, just
I think I can do it.
admit the Bronco pulled you out.
I'm sure
it's okay.
I'm sure AI
Own
can do
it.
it.
No, I don't. No,
Own it.
I don't need to. I don't want to.
Own the fact that
Damn
a
it.
Bronco pulled you out.
It did.
Are you sure you weren't pushing the Bronco?
Yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
Well, there is that too.
It could have been
there's-
worse. They could have only owned Broncos.
Yeah, I'm
Now,
gonna leave all
JD,
that
if-
alone.
Have you ever been stuck in a river?
You're not laughing, right, Kristy? Because I know it's not a river, but it was like 45
might as
degree
well
angle
be.
in a pit, on Drummond Island. So I've been in water
Yeah.
trying to get my winch hooked up and using it as quickly as I can before it might short out. And shout out to Smitty Built. I know people give them crap all the time for their gear, but that thing was underwater for 15 minutes, still pulled me out of that hole, and still works to this day. So, yeah.
that's
good
Smitty built
deal.
on that Willie's wagon right over my shoulder.
There you go. So it's not always like there's a place for the heavy equipment, and get it when you can get it and when you can afford it. And when I bought the Smithy build, I couldn't afford it. So it's my Jeep it's my winch until it dies. When it dies, maybe I'll get something beefier, but it's done a really good job so far. All right. Did we get everybody? Did they go around the table? We did. All right, good deal. Okay. And I know, so Kristy, I asked you about the island, the trail on the island, and then you kind of had to go for a second there. Do you have anything else coming up on the island anytime soon in terms of like events and stuff?
Well, we do have a fundraiser coming up actually July 3rd. It's next weekend. We have a big band coming at the Big Blue Dock down at Yacht Haven. It's a fundraiser for our trail system. And then they're talking about doing a mud bog and run this October as part of
That's
Fall
fun.
Fest. So yeah. And we have plenty of groups that are coming to the island. I know I know DOA isn't going to come this year, but there's a couple other groups that are coming. So just a lot of people coming to the island.
I can imagine.
That's cool.
And I want to bring it up again real quick, and it's just because in case it wasn't part of, in case it's part of the video that we lost there for a second. But the Badge of Honor Trail has changed out of Drummond. It's not Marblehead anymore, and it's actually a couple of trails that are rougher, if you will. They're more of a Badge of Honor type of trail. And so I can imagine there's just going to be some people out there trying to grab that. Is
Oh,
that
yeah, definitely.
I know there was some talk about them doing like seasonal ones, or not seasonal ones, but like one, like it's active for a season or two. Is that like a permanent badge, or is that like a seasonal, like it's for this year and maybe next?
The Hullfish Walker Trail is a permanent replacement of the
Okay.
Marblehead badge, yeah. And they did bring back the Marblehead badge during Jeep Jamboree so that those people could get their badge of honor. So they actually were able to get two while they were there. But as soon as that was over on Sunday, they shut it down and you can't get the Marblehead badge anymore.
Okay, very cool. That's cool. Awesome. All
Which
right.
is kind of weird because Marblehead has some really cool lines now to climb. So stuff that wasn't there before, now there's, I think, some more challenging stuff on there than there has been in the past. So
I think you and I would agree on that after I'd driven it. And I think that the public perception of it is different now. So maybe it'll change. Maybe it'll come back.
yeah.
So in the meantime, the Badge of Honor Trail that they've got going out there now it's an awesome trail. It's a group of a few of them put together. So it's real good. And little tip for everybody out there in Radioland. Now, I'm going to give this with a huge caveat. Jeep has had problems recently. We've talked about them extensively in the show when it comes to customer service and kind of like doing the basics to keep their most fervent users active or happy. And like, I'm one of those people who've owned a Jeep for like 30 years of my life. And it's just like, why do I sometimes feel like I'm getting slapped in the face by them? but their badge of honor system is run by a third party, and so it takes a while to when you message them and you email them. But if you have been to one of these trails, and you, especially the ones that got retired or are getting retired soon, you might still be able to get a badge if you send them a picture and a date that you were there. Occasionally they will send you the badge and information. So if you're trying to get one of those old Marblehead ones and they still have some left in the warehouse someplace, email them a picture of you as close to Marblehead as you were legally supposed to be. You know who I'm looking at. And see if they'll send you the badge. Otherwise, go check out the new one they got going out there, because if you've never been on that trail before, it's pretty awesome. So the water crossing itself is just really cool. I don't get water crossings. in Illinois or in Colorado. Good deal. All right. And then Mike, I assume that you were dragged into this because you had an event to plug.
I do actually.
Yeah, I was right. I didn't even have to ask. Yay.
On August the 16th, we'll be doing our Sunflower Trail event, and it is held at Kansas Rocks Recreational Park. And the club every year gives away what we call the Driving Change Scholarship, which is given away to girls at the high school age that are going to be moving into male-dominated careers. So they can apply for it. They can submit an essay. The board will choose the top. I think it's 3 essays, right, honey? 3. Okay. The 3 essays, and they receive the financial award. And the Sunflower event finances all of that. So sorry about the cat. Whatever we make off Sunflower goes in to finance that. And Sunflower is also a women's skills event. So the women that traditionally are passenger princesses in the Jeeps and the Broncos, etc., we encourage them to get behind the wheel, learn how to air down, learn how to disconnect your sway bar, all that stuff. So learn how to do all of that, and it gives them a chance to focus on their skills versus just riding and just enjoying the scenery. Gives them a chance to get scared a little bit.
Yeah. There you go.
It's cool.
Did I miss anything?
Yeah. No, sounded good to me.
Okay. Anything you want to add?
Amy's just like, thank God I didn't have to talk about that. It's just like, oh my God.
Not my jam. You haven't figured that out. So.
Oh, you're fine. You're amongst friends here. Again, none of us know what we're doing. You're totally fine. Does it feel like I know what I'm doing here? And I'm driving this bus. No, don't lie to anybody. Don't lie. We started this show before we got on the air with all of them openly calling me out for getting stuck in front of people they don't know. They're just like, yeah, I don't know who this person is, but did you hear that JD got stuck? Yeah, that's how that went.
I learned about it in my email days ago. That's all I'm saying.
You son of a bitch. And I see how it is. There it is.
Wow.
I actually wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. The only reason it is not a larger story is because that original video has not been posted yet. And and the more I talk about it, the more I realize I just have to post it. I just have to post it because it's going to be,
production has
I'll tell you all
it,
about that
so.
when we're done recording. Do they really have me stuck?
Yeah, it'll be out on TV in
Oh,
October.
They had everything. They were recording everything.
Not only were they recording everything, but they took all our footage too.
Oh, crap. I don't like the answer to that. Can you see me contemplating what that potentially means? Yeah, I don't like the answer to that whatsoever. Okay, now I understand why Rich knew about it. Okay, good deal.
Amy,
because Rich was not around when that occurred.
But he also he also did interviews with us like you did, so just not recorded.
Oh, wait. Okay, so you brought that up in the...
I mean, if they asked us
Really?
how well we thought about it, we wasn't going to stay behind.
Judas.
I mean, come on. We also brought up the other flat tires and,
Good Lord. All right. Yeah, there were a lot of flat tires, but I'm the only person who both got lost as the mapping person and got stuck in Sand Hollow. So, look, I own it. I recognize it. I'm supposed to be some sort of an expert. Again, Amy, none of us know what we're doing. I'm just letting you know that right now.
You know, if you had Onyx, you wouldn't have gotten
Because
lost.
son of a bitch. Again.
JD, we
he
have
knows
a
what he's
friend here.
doing.
Oops, sorry. We have a
No, go
friend
ahead,
here.
Mike.
We have a friend here in Kansas City who Googled himself, and he came up as a notable figure in the off-road community. And and his wife told that story to all of us in January. And to this day, whenever we're in a meeting and he's coming up to speak, because he's also a club sponsor, when he's coming up to meet, we'll say, and we'd like to invite to the stage the notable, and we call him out. So
That's great.
So you know, JD,
That's
this
great.
is not going away anytime soon.
Yeah.
No. Oh yeah, and you know what? I just Googled myself and I shouldn't have done it because now I'm never going to bed. Okay. Thanks, Mike. So nice to have you on the show. All right.
Glad I can be of assistance.
Okay. And Ozzy, I'm sorry, we bypassed you real fast. Did you have any kind and again, I feel like we opened the show with me telling everybody you don't have to say who you're with or from, but are you with a different group on the island, or are you just here to talk about off-road?
I'm a chauffeur, basically.
I'm a princess, and he's my chauffeur.
That works.
Most of the time, yeah.
That's what I would call my local stomping ground, even though it's 200 miles away from my house. It's Drummond Island, so yeah. Again, I've been been 12 years as a guide up there. So, but in the last few years, I make half a dozen trips up there a year, something like that. So, anyway.
What's 200 miles for you?
Pardon me?
Where's 200 miles away for you?
Lansing area, Michigan.
Oh, okay, so you're still within Michigan. You're just on. You're in the mitten.
Yeah. I was born here in the UP, so we've been thinking about maybe moving back up here one of these days. So, but anyway, yeah, it's still fun to go out there, and it went to Moab last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's completely different experience out there as it is to Drummond Island.
It's a different experience being up in the UP. What are you talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, it's all a matter of perspective, right?
It is. Did you like Moab though?
Oh yeah, I did.
I mean, everybody kind of has a different feel of it. Sometimes I feel I've never heard anybody leave it and been like they hated it, but I've had varying levels of excitement after they left. So
Right. Yeah. No, it was a good experience. I'd go back. You know.
What was your favorite
One of
trail
these
in
days
Moab?
we'll get back out there. So. Yeah, and that little water hole that I'm assuming you've been through on the Walker Trail, we went through this spring, and well, the island's a big rock basically, so everything freezes up. Well, spring thaw comes around, depending on how much rain and snow we had, how much water there is, and it takes a while for everything to get thawed out enough for it to kind of drain off. I had trail guys. Well, one guy just basically this was his last year. He's got some medical issues, but anyway, he's been trail guide for 20 some years, and this spring during a trail cleanup as part of the club, there was 2 areas that we backed out of because I couldn't tell where the trail was anymore. I mean, I knew I could see the entrance or the other end of the trail, but getting from point A to point B, I couldn't tell where I was going. And the water at that point was probably about 2 feet deep. So didn't know how far I was going to go in, where the rocks were at, and I couldn't see all that stuff. But anyway, all that being said, he'd never seen water on the island like that. He'd never been up there that early in the year. So it makes a big difference when you come up there as to how deep the water is. And the hole on Walker Trail, yeah, I kept moving. I just don't stop. And the water is about halfway up the door on the driver's side.
I feel like we were there in maybe we were there earlier in the year, but I thought we were there in August, and we still had some of the biggest water that anybody who's ever seen pictures on Drummond Island. There's a couple folks that I work with on Trails Off-Road. They're like, we went out there, we didn't encounter anything like you did in terms of water. And I'm just like, it was everywhere. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, if we get big rains and that kind of stuff, like he was saying, it's a big rock. And so until it doesn't go anywhere, it just sits there until it evaporates or Maybe it starts to trickle away into some of the crevices and stuff. But if we get a big gully washer, 3 inches of rain, those water holes will be so full of water. And
it's a lot of clay.
yeah, well, yeah, if you go to the tank traps, those, if you drive right now, they're complete. I mean, we talked about the tank traps when I
We
was
talked about the tank trap.
those holes can get filled with water pretty quick. And if you drive in them right now when they're dry, you can drive in and disappear. Like nobody will even know you're in that hole because they're so deep.
Yeah.
And it gets full with water, and people that aren't familiar with the island, they'll just think it's like every other hole, a rock bottom, not very deep, and they'll start driving through it, and all of a sudden they get sucked in, and those holes are all clay. So once you get going, there's no backing out. You just keep sliding right down into it, and it is horrible. So I don't know what the DNR is going to do with all that, but there's talk of filling them in, and there's a lot of people in the off-road community, they're upset about that. Because they want to keep them, but they are somewhat dangerous. If you get in there, some of them are so tight, you can't open your doors if you were to get in there. So you would have to get out through your window, and who knows if there'll be enough space between the window and in the wall of the hole to get out. So
Yeah,
it's kind of dangerous.
I mean, there's a couple of them they were dry or close to being dry, but yeah, I drove down into them, and again, I don't know if I could have got my doors open if I needed to, but I was literally looking out my window at the ground at eye level.
Wow.
That's how deep. So if that water had been full of hole, that hole had been full of water, it would have been a real serious issue.
Yeah. The only reason I didn't take on water was because I was winching out quickly. Otherwise, those seals would have only lasted so long in that pit. And I've said it before, and I will say it on your behalf, Kristy, that trail maintenance is not tyranny. Folks need to get out there occasionally and fill in holes and fix problems with rocks and make it accessible for certain types of vehicles for whatever legal reasons that they've got going on in that area. And but what I will tell you is that if somebody comes through and fills in a hole that you liked, and it was a big obstacle that you love so much, I can almost guarantee you that in a year or two, most of it's going to be back, because that's just the nature of how these things work. And they're putting in loose dirt into holes and stuff, and it comes back out. It's just people trying to keep it at least somewhat accessible. Relax a little bit, unless people are talking about like grading a trail completely. And then we could talk about whether or not it's a good idea or a bad idea.
Yeah, I think
that's what happened with Marblehead. They cut that big path in it and to make it accessible, and it's already starting to get chunky. You can see that, it's limestone, it's soft. As people are driving on it, it's crushing it down and making new lines. And I said, give it a couple of years, it'll be back to what it was.
Exactly. And the hard lines are still there. Lauren, what were you saying?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Different parts of the country, like at Sand Mountain, they don't want anybody changing any of the trails. They don't want anybody filling anything in. One of the guys, this trail was traditionally a 7. It was Milt's Mile, and it'd gone to like an 8 because of just one little spot. And he went out there with some concrete one night and just poured a little bit of concrete in the hole to fill in the hole. Oh my God, the community came unglued because he'd changed the difficulty of the obstacle. And BLM does not want you changing the difficulty of any of the, they say it as it erodes and gets tougher or it gets easier. That's just the way it is. They don't want you messing with it. So it's different, I think, at different parts of the country.
Yeah.
Well, on Drummond Island, one of our issues is that a lot of our trail system is forest roads.
Yeah.
And so those are designated for hunters and things like that. And so they have to be accessible by what they think a two-wheel drive truck should be able to be accessible through some of these. And some of them are degraded beyond that now. So, but like the Hellfresh Walker Trail, one of the reasons that we picked that specifically for the trail is that it's actual trail and not a forest road. So we have some kind of say, at least, in how that will be managed in the future for the off-roading community, instead of, it doesn't risk being paved like one of the areas of Marblehead. Pretty much it was graded flat, and that upset everybody, and it's a forest road that had to happen. So
yeah.
Big glad they're not
rules
doing
are
like they
different
are
from
here.
agency. Like what?
We had a Forest Service road, 20 some odd miles were paved.
Oof.
Wow.
Because
Yeah,
they were tired
that
of the
happens
little
too.
2-wheel drive cars getting stuck and having to go rescue them. So they took a really nice Forest Service road, turned it into a road, an actual paved road, and
Yeah.
now everybody's out there just trashing the forest.
Well, and that's rough for you guys too, because you have limited trail miles to begin with, or road miles to be considered trail miles to begin with, right? And it's an important distinction. You know, in Colorado, people recently in last years have been complaining about the fact that more trails are kind of asking for an OHV permit for it to be, because it's a trail. It's not just a Forest Service road. And here's the great thing about a Forest Service road. And check your insurance. I'm going to remind you that we are not. You shouldn't follow any advice that we give on this show, especially from me. But a Forest Service road is still a road, and if you have decent insurance, if you don't have insurance by TED, you are most likely covered if you have an accident on a Forest Service road, even if it's a road that's rough. Like there's a couple of roads in Colorado, Forest Service roads, that are 8s and 9s, and if you dump on that trail and you roll on the side and you break a quarter panel and you damage a door, it might be covered because it's a Forest Service road. The bad part about that is that, as Kristy was saying, you don't necessarily have as much control over that road if you're the local group around you. And then the other piece of it is that it has to be maintained as a road. And in some cases, that means it has to have access for a 2-wheel drive vehicle to get through to it. And those of you who are familiar with the Trail Hero scale, I'm guessing, it's probably gonna put that at like a top level 3. But for Trails Off-Road folks, that's a 1 or a 2. They need to keep that at a basic level for 2-wheel drive vehicles to get through to wherever they need to get through. And every once in a while, it means they got to come through and fix it up. And if you want a Forest Service road to not have those restrictions, then lobby your Forest Service to make it a trail. But then tell them how you're going to help get the funds to keep it a trail, and then keep it maintained, because they'll hear for it. They want to hear it. They want to hear about how you'll do it. Because they don't have the money, they don't have the resources, but they know that we want to, and they know that we will.
You know, I was a Jeep dealer for 10 years, guys. So I had a lot of Jeep customers come in, and we used to do newbie runs, and people would always ask me about insurance. And one thing that I learned to do is email your agent and ask them the questions about what your coverage is. Ask them what happens to your upgrades, how you can get your upgrades covered. Ask them what happens when you get off road, because if they make a mistake and they quote you wrong in that email response, you can get them for their errors and omissions coverage, and you will have that coverage. Good whatever call. They promise you. So I do that every couple years, because it seems like my State Farm agent changes every couple years, but I email them every couple years and just ask them, how am I covered on this, and ask them specific questions. And if they call you, say, can you please email me back, so I have a record, because I don't have a good memory. And they will.
There you go. And you need to, and that's a great point too, by the way. Upgrades are usually a separate issue. So check what your coverage is. So yeah, there's your insurance minute today on the Trailhead. Welcome, guys. All right. Let's see here. I'm trying to think, is anybody else that we had that had anything kind of coming up? Did anybody else have any events coming up soon-ish? No? All right.
The Magruder Trail the end of this month, the end of July, with a group out of Salt Lake City.
Okay. Is that still joinable, or is that just
no? It was. It's from Harker Campers out of Salt Lake. The camper got on the back of my Jeep. They put together a private run with 12 rigs, and they're to Magruder all the way down to McCall, Idaho, and that should be a lot of fun. It's July 30th through the 4th. I believe it's 3rd or 4th.
That's cool. Are you gonna take your newfound love of production into that event? And do your own video production on this?
Yeah, we need to get better at that. We're pretty bad at vlogging, just because we're so inappropriate. You don't want to we don't really want to post any of that stuff. But yeah, we're trying to get better.
There's so many tools to take out the F-bomb though. You could just do it right away.
Yeah. So we're trying to get better at that. Doing the Trail Hero X event, and being on TV and filmed and all that was, definitely a little bit eye-opening that we need to work on our video skills a little bit better.
Your video skills or your censorship skills?
Both.
That sounds about right.
That's a straight yes answer.
Yes,
it is. But I feel like you learned something that Calvin and Jennifer learned, that Loren and Justin and I and Mike and Kristy and Mike and I all know now, is that there's a difference between watching that YouTube video and then making that YouTube video.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I will say this as a quick aside, and there's still an episode to air with it about it. But the recording that show, recording the Trail Hero Expeditions as a show and kind of seeing it from behind the scenes, it was really interesting because now I'm watching a reality show, and I'm not going to name the name of it, but it is a show about travel. And I was just like, wow, this now I understand how this all got put together. But now I'm thinking, you guys had such a much better timeline than we did. We had 6 days. So, I really look forward to our shows that are going to air after that. That'll be fun. All right, cool. Let's see here. Anybody else? Any other events coming up that anybody wants to plug or tell about?
Trail Hero, of course.
I'm going to take silence as a reason. Well, Trail Hero, of course, but that's not till October. We got plenty of runway for that. It's only the end of June. But I will say this, make your reservations now. Like if you're going to stay at a hotel or even at one of the campgrounds, make your reservations now. It's all that stuff's going to go away. And it's going to become twice as expensive.
I think we've already got reserved spots at the
fairgrounds.
The fairgrounds, yeah.
Yeah.
So
you guys, you guys might be set. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just noticed
reserved spots.
They're VIPs.
I just went over there the other day. I shoot over there at a gun club over there, and there's a new campground that's being built just south of the fairgrounds, and I'm going to look into that. It's not open yet, but I'm going to keep my eye on that because that's an ideal place, I think, to be located. It's within walking
And it's not
distance.
part of Jellystone?
Jellystone's kind of halfway between the fairgrounds and Sand Hollow State Park. So Jellystone's kind of in the middle. So yeah, that's just another option.
And look, guys, if you're looking to book for Trail Hero, look, I know that this year it's changing so that they're not going to be staging on the beach anymore. It gives you a lot more opportunity to kind of spread out and find a place that's good for you, whether it's a hotel or an Airbnb or whatever it is. Go find some place good for you. I think that's part of what they're hoping for, is that people kind of spread out a little bit.
Yeah, and Jellystone's already booked. We checked into it about 3 weeks ago, and it was booked even then.
Well, I'm not surprised. Here, we have a Jellystone that's 15 minutes from the house here, and it was a tiny little place when we first moved to Colorado in 2015, and now they have the cabins and the RV slots and all the rest of it. It's massive. Like a couple thousand people there, and it's right against the highway. Like I don't get that part of it. Like it's only because there's that 300 miles of single track behind me. That's why, because they all park there and then they go there. All right. All right. Well, last call. Anybody got anything else left they want to add? Oh, Brian just gets here. Of course, Brian. Everybody say hi to Brian. Everybody say hi to Brian. Living to relax. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Brian. Hi, Brian.
What's up?
You're getting here late in the evening, man. Like we're about to take a break. I don't know what to tell you.
You missed us talking about JD getting stuck.
God damn it. There we go. Son of to the end of my days. That's the end of my days. Like I'm never going to be known for anything else.
JD, there'll be T-shirts and stickers coming your way.
Look, here's the thing. I'm actually okay with that. But I need a cut. I got to have some money.
There'll
long
be
as
a
you kick in
whole
for the
line
making
of
of it.
swag for you.
Yeah, there's a lot of lights in here, and it costs a lot to push all those lights in, and turn them all on each week. All right. Thanks for riding along with us on this episode and let us be a part of your off-road adventures. Safe travels on and off-road. As always, stay the trail. We'll see you next time with the Trailhead.
This is where trails start and our stories unfold. And our stories unfold.